Hey Guitar Heroes, have you ever wondered what the heck chords actually are, where they come from? Does it ever just seem confusing to you? Well, you're not alone, but you're about to get it because I'm going to take this lesson. We're going to go over what chords are, how to play them, and get you rocking out with some stuff because you're totally capable of doing this. Welcome to Simple Guitar. My name is Brad, and I'm excited to give you this little beginner crash course on what the heck chords actually are, because here's the thing. Chords are the building blocks of all your favorite songs. If you listen to popular music, you need chords, right? Chords make up just about every popular song. Whether you're just starting out or you just need some clarity, you're in the right place and you've totally got this. All right, so simply, what are chords? Chords are anytime you play any three notes together. That's it. So technically, that's a chord. That's a chord. That's a chord. But we typically go for chords that actually have structure and sound good, like this, or this one, or this one, or this one, right? Chords are meant to be used in a musical way. We combine them with rhythm and we create magic. When you hear favorite songs like Hey Jude or Wonderwall or Everlong or whatever your favorite song is, Sweet Home Alabama, it does not matter. That song is made up from chords. Now, most guitar players only think of chords as chord shapes or finger shapes, where we place our fingers. So, for example, most guitar players will think of a G chord as this, right? It's my third finger on the third fret, first string, my second, third, and fourth string open, and then the first finger on the second fret of the fifth string, and then my third finger playing the third fret on the sixth string. Most people will think, oh, that's my G chord, right? But yes, that is a G chord. But why is that a G chord? It's because that chord is made up of specific notes. Your chords are all made from specific notes. Now, here's the trick. Let's break this down really quick and let's look at specific notes. On each of your strings, they all are tuned to a specific musical note. So your low E string is tuned to E. The first fret on that string is an F note. The second fret is an F sharp. The third fret is a G note. That's going to be important. We're going to need that in just a minute. The fourth fret is a G sharp. The fifth fret is A. The sixth fret is A sharp or B flat, more commonly called. The seventh fret is B. The eighth fret is C. And then the next fret, the ninth fret, is C sharp or D flat. The 10th fret is D, then we have D sharp or E flat, and then we have E again, right? So between your first fret and your 12th fret, your open and your 12th fret, we have all 12 musical notes. Now, here's the thing. Chords are just special groupings of these notes, and they create a pattern, and they can be used to create the same kind of chord. We have different kinds of chords that have different sounds, different feelings, different colors, right? Different vibes to them. So for example, with a G chord, when you're playing this G chord, we're playing three notes. We're playing a G note, we're playing a B note, and we're playing a D note. And anytime we play a G, a B, and a D, we're playing a G chord, okay? So it doesn't have to just be this. I start a lot of beginners out. Their first open chord is just a simple G with just that, right? So let's look at this really quick. If we take a G note, for example, the G on my low string, and the B, which is the 7th fret on my low string, and the D, which is the 10th fret on my low string, those are the three notes that make up a G chord. But it's hard to play a chord with one string, so we're going to find those same notes on other strings. So if I'm playing my G down here, I need to find a B note nearby that is easy to play. Well, my next string is tuned to A. And if I play my first fret, that's an A sharp or B flat, and the second fret is B, right? So I have my G on my third fret, 6th string. I have my B on the second fret of the 5th string. And now I need a D. Well, I can either play that on the 5th fret of that 5th string, or I could just play my 4th string open, right? And then I have my G, I have my B, and I have my D. And that right there is your three notes that you need for a G chord. But we have 6 strings. What the heck is going on? Well, your third string is another G, your second string is another B, and then your first string, third fret is another G. So when we play that chord, we're playing the notes of the G chord, and it just so happens that that finger shape that we all learn and memorize makes up that chord. And it's the same thing with any other chord. The notes of a C chord are C and E and G, right? So check this out. I can have C on my 5th string, 3rd fret. The E note is the 7th fret of that string. And then the 10th fret is my G note, right? Now check this out. When we did G, we played the 3rd fret for G, the 7th fret for B, and the 10th fret for D. We're playing the exact same pattern here. I start with C on my 3rd fret on the 5th string, 7th fret for E, and then my G is the 10th fret. Same pattern. The distance from my C note to my E note is exactly the same distance as between my G note and my B note. And the distance from E to G is the same as from B to D. So that's going to tell me that I'm playing the same type of chord because I'm following the same pattern of notes. The distance between my notes is the same. And that's important, but I'm not going to complicate that right now, okay? We're going to get to that later. So for my C chord, I can play C right there. I need to find an E note nearby. Well, it just so happens my 4th string is tuned to D, and my 1st fret would be E flat, and so my 2nd fret is E. And then my next open string is a G. And out of tune G, right? Or I could do this. I could play that G note on the 6th string, 3rd fret, and play G, and then C, and then E. That is also a C chord, right? So anytime I run into C and E and G, which would be here, then I have a C chord. It doesn't matter where, right? Pretty cool. So that's what your chords are. Your chords are actually made up of notes, and then we find convenient ways to place our fingers to play them on the guitar that utilize how the notes are laid out across the guitar, because the guitar's goofy. I mean, we can play this, well, not that G. I could play this G right here. I can play this G right here on my B string. I can play it right here on my 3rd string. I can play it right here on my 4th string. And I can play it right here on my 5th string. And if I had enough, I could play it on my 6th string too, right? So we have the exact same note in different places. So that allows us to play intervals differently than like on a piano or on an instrument that only plays one note at a time, right? This way we can play 6 strings, play 6 different chords, 6 different notes. And it's how we do it on the guitar. So what chords should you start out with? Well, the first 3 chords that I start beginners out with are a simple G, a simple E minor, and a simple C chord. Are those the chords you're going to stick with forever? No, but I recommend getting going with those and having some fun with them and play some musical stuff, because you can play songs with just those 3 chords, like Can't Stop the Feeling from the Trolls movies by Justin Timberlake. That's G, C, and E minor, mostly. It gets a little bit different there, but you can play the main part of the song. So I have students do this. I just have them play your G on the first string, 3rd fret, then your open 2nd string, then your open 3rd string, and if you want to, you can play your open 4th string too. And there you have your G chord, right? And that is a very easy way to start playing and getting used to some very simple strumming, like going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you could change to an E minor chord, which would just be your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string open. Right? If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you add your 2nd fret on your 4th string. Okay. So we have our G chord. We have our E minor chord. Now you have to be able to change between those. So you have to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Meaning you have to get that chord change to happen on beat 1. So you play your new chord on beat 1. Okay. Now the third chord that I start people out with is a simple C. The 3-string version of that is your open first string, your first fret on your B string with your first finger, and then your open third string. So you've got 3 notes. That is a simple C chord. But if you're playing the version of E minor with your 2nd fret on your 4th string, you add that same note to it. You have a 4-string version of your C chord, right? And then you have your G chord, your E minor, and your C chord. I teach people these chords on their first day doing open chords, and they get these down, and you can change between them relatively easy because there's not a lot of coordination involved, and you can start playing real music with them, right? So go try those out. Go memorize those. Go practice changing between them, okay? But remember, the big thing is taking those 2, 3, 4, doing it in time. 4, 1, 2, 3, G, 1, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, E minor, right? As long as you're doing it in time, you're going to start to sound musical, even if you're playing something simple like just strumming on beat 1, right? So there you go, guys. That is your basic crash course on what are chords and a few really basic simple chords to get you started. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link down in the description below on all the basic open chords that I think that you need to know, and it's going to help you play tons and tons of songs. So I will put a link for that down below. But if this was helpful for you, please let me know which one of these chords was your favorite, or if you have any other questions about chords, let me know down in the comments. But I do have another gift for you as well. If you go to my website at simpleguitar.com/top10, there you can pick up my free guide, The Top 10 Things to Learn on Guitar First, and it will include some chords like this that you're going to be learning and playing real songs with and having fun. So go to simpleguitar.com/top10, put in your email. I will send that out to you right away, and then we'll get you playing and having fun. So go do that. Now, also go check out this video on how to read chord diagrams, and that's going to help you understand how to read chord diagrams so that you can learn any new chord. And I will catch you in the next video.